Students, how are you all? I'm happy to be back with another video, the question answers of Unit 10, theme Home Life and Family Relationship, and the title of today's lesson is The Tattered Blanket. Students, turn to page 91. Let's begin. Ways with words. A. Fill in the blanks with an appropriate word from the box. A. All the efforts to convince her for the tour were futile. B. The lost traveler huddled up under a shelter made of branches and leaves. C. Her rude behavior was the main cause of irritation for him. D. She moved feebly in the room, thinking that I was watching. E. She is mumbling something, but I can't hear her. F. When I met my sister after a long time, she talked to me in a grating voice. Meaning of grating is sounding harsh and unpleasant. B. Tick the correct words that are similar in meaning to the underlined words. A. Rupa studied science reluctantly due to her father's pressure. Reluctantly means unwillingly. B. She moved her fingers exasperatedly through her hair. Exasperatedly means annoyingly. C. My grandmother is over 80. She lifted her hands feebly. Feebly means weakly. D. She is wearing a tattered shawl. Tattered means torn. E. I have to work at 2 jobs to make ends meet in the expensive city. Here, to make ends meet means earn just enough money. C. Spell the following words correctly, adding the suffixes given against each root. Writing, arrival, armies, monkeys, fanciful, stopped, worried, recurring, argument, creative. D. Syllable. A. The following words have only one sound unit called a syllable. Pronounce them. Dawn, board, straight, spring, prompt, 12th, strong, small, text, learn. B. The following words have 2 syllables. Underline their syllables and pronounce them. Beauty, sleepy, survive, current, woman, hotel. C. Consult an English dictionary and find the number of syllables to the following words. Underline and pronounce them. Bury, 2 syllables. Development, 3 syllables. Syllabic, 3 syllables. Vowel, 2 syllables. Education, 4 syllables. Discipline, 3 syllables. Examination, 5 syllables. Children, 2 syllables. Separately, 4 syllables. Pronunciation, 4 syllables. When we break words into different syllables, it will be easy to pronounce them and our pronunciation of that word will be correct. For that, we should know about syllables. Now students, we have come to comprehension part. Answer the following questions. A. Why didn't the mother recognize her son Gopi? Gopi's mother didn't recognize him when he went to see her after a long time due to her old age. She had lost her memory. B. Why is the sister living with her mother? Gopi's sister was living with her mother as she was widow and her mother was very old, and Gopi and his family were not living with their mother. C. What is the sister's attitude towards her brother? She is a bit mean towards his brother because she knew that he came there not because he loved his mother but because he wanted property from there. She knew pretty well, and after getting it, he will not come there again. This time also he had come there after 5 years, that also with a selfish motive. D. Does the son love his mother very much? How do you know that? No, the son does not love his mother. He stayed away from her with his wife and children. He could have taken her away to stay with him if he had truly loved his mother. He had come there after 5 years, after such a long time, that also not because he wanted to see his mother or care for her, but to talk about getting the part of his property. So he was selfish and did not love his mother. E. What does the mother actually need? A blanket or the warmth of her son's love? The mother needed both of them. She needed a new blanket as her blanket was already tattered and torn, and the cold weather was coming near. She also desperately needed her son's love as she was very old at that time, 83 years old, and had lost her memory. Every parent needs their children's love and care when they become old. They become feeble, helpless, and desperate in that age. F. What does the phrase "the tattered blanket" mean? Is it only the blanket that is tattered? The tattered blanket is the symbol of oldness. The blankets, when they become old, becomes tattered and torn. In the same way, the human beings also, when they become old, becomes very feeble, helpless, dependent, and ill. Here in the story, Gopi's mother, who was 83 years old, was very feeble, shabby, helpless, and dependent. She had lost her memory also, so the writer is comparing Gopi's mother to her old tattered blanket. G. The son says, Amma can't remember who I am. Do you think that he remembered his mother? Why didn't he answer when his sister asked, Do you remember your Amma? Answer, no, I don't think that he remembered his mother because it had been 5 years since he visited his mother. This time also, he had not come to see his mother purposefully. He had come there to attend a meeting in Thiruvananthapuram, and on his way back, he had just dropped in to talk to his sister about selling his family property so that he could get his share of money. That is why he didn't also answer his sister's question. He had come there with a selfish motive. Now, the critical thinking part. A. What can be the expectations of the parents from their offspring at the old age? Answer. The expectations of the parents from their offspring at the old age would be that they would take good care of them, they would get the chance to live with them. Whenever they have any kind of health issue, their children would take them to the doctor for proper treatment. Their children would look after their every needs of life. B. Some children who live in a distance tend to be indifferent to the feelings of their parents. Why do you think they are like that? Discuss. Answer. Some children who live in a distance tend to be indifferent to the feelings of their parents. As they live very far from their parents, the strong bond would be missing. Parents also don't care about children's needs when they are strong. If there is a kind of strong bond between the child and the parents, he will definitely come back or return to his parents no matter how far he goes. Even if he is married, he will go to visit his parents from time to time in order to fulfill their needs. Sometimes, even parents are very selfish and partial towards their children. When the child feels that he has been neglected or ignored by his parents and family members, his love for them dies. When parents have been very discriminating and partial towards some children, their feelings are hurt and that love and special bonding is not there anymore. In some cases, when the son marries of his own choice, parents and family members don't accept his wife and later on his children also. In that case, the son goes and lives very far from his family. He is forced to do so because the family members talks very badly about him and his wife in the society. They are not allowed to survive there. Some parents do a great partiality when distributing property. They gives property to all sons and even daughters, but not to the innocent son. This kind of cheating really hurts the son, so he is separated from the family. There are many kinds of fraud cases and cheating going on in the family, but the true story never comes out in society. Everyone will blame the son for not taking care of his family and for living away from the family. If proper investigation is done legally and scientifically, then the real crime or truth will come in front of the people. They will be highly surprised to know the truth. Otherwise, who doesn't love their parents? Who wants to stay away from an old mother? But there are grave reasons beneath. No one knows the real truth. Without knowing the real cause, just by listening to some people, we should never blame anyone. Never make judgments on others without knowing the truth. Clever people keep on doing injustice to others, but they should know God is there watching everyone who is doing what. The wrongdoers are never forgiven by God. That is why I would say parents and family members should not do injustice to any members of the family, and children also should never do injustice to their parents. In some cases, if the son is settled with his family far away from his parents, there he would be struggling himself to earn a living for his family and to set a good standard in the society. In that case, he should keep his parents with him rather than living separately from them. See, a mother's love is everlasting and indispensable. Justify. As I have to justify this answer, I don't know about others. People may have different opinions regarding this, but I know about my mother and her love for me. So I will talk about it. I am the only daughter of my mother, so no doubt I got special, wholesome, and undivided love from my mother. She has always been a great strength in my life. Even now, whenever I have any problem, I remember my mother and call her immediately. I hide nothing from her. We are great friends, and if she needs anything in life, she will tell me immediately. If she has any problem also, she remembers me first and calls me immediately. My mother knows when I am in pain, although I don't tell her. This is a kind of telepathy between her and me. In the same way, I also know that she is in pain even if she doesn't tell me. A kind of special bond is there between us. I loved my father very much, but since my father passed away, my mother has always been my strength in life. I will never feel alone and helpless until she is there in my life. So a mother is a selfless true friend, and her love is everlasting and indispensable to all her children. She has been a strong pillar and a source of great inspiration to us all. Now the writing part. Writing a diary. What is a diary entry? Diary entry or journal. A diary is a personal record of things that a person has experienced. It can also record the writer's thoughts or feelings. Tips for writing a diary. Write in the first person I, date at the top. Organize paragraphs with topic sentences. Give a clear sense of the writer's personality and explain their feelings and changing emotions. Focus on key moments or incidents in one's world. Provide a sense of time and sequence, that is, use time connectives like finally, afterwards, earlier, later that day. Varied punctuation. Varied sentence types. A. Our country was put on lockdown due to COVID-19 pandemic. Following is an example of a diary entry about the feelings and experiences of a person who is locked up at home. Saturday, March 28, 2020. Today is the 5th day that we have been put on lockdown. Almost all the countries in the world are forced on to implement this system, and my country is not an exception too. It is called the traveler's disease, which transmits from one person to another through physical contact. WHO has advised people to maintain physical distance, use masks and sanitizer. Washing hands with soap very carefully is a common phenomenon. No vehicles are in operation in the street and shops are closed. People are locked up in their own homes like caged animals in the zoo. What a situation that has enforced us to be locked up in our own home. A very microorganism is threatening the human existence. Are human beings enemies to nature so that we are facing such a threat? Maybe we have done irreparable damage to nature in the name of development. We have encroached upon nature and destroyed the habitats of other living beings. Developed countries are in a race to test nuclear weapons and missiles to demonstrate their power and wealth. Now, where's their power gone? Why cannot they get victory over coronavirus? What's the use of their so-called devastating weapons? Now, it seems that coronavirus is taking the side of creatures to challenge the so-called superpower of the cosmos. This microorganism is affecting human lives very badly, irrespective of class, caste, religion, race, geography, and ideology. Now I could imagine how caged birds and animals feel when they are behind the bar. We are in the cage. I am feeling as if I'm locked up in the human zoo. Perhaps it is the demand of time to teach humans a serious lesson about their existence. I can feel how badly people might be suffering due to lockdown. The world has stood still due to coronavirus. The worst thing about this situation is that there is no vaccine or any medicine made for the cure of this pandemic virus. Just staying at home and maintaining physical distance is the only solution to COVID-19. I hope we will soon be free from this pandemic. Let's stay at home safe and sound. Marker. B. Suppose a child who lived in a city with his or her parents accompanied his or her father to visit an elderly grandmother in the village. The grandmother was waiting for her son to come back to the village and look after her, but her son was not willing to do so. Write a diary on behalf of the elderly grandmother, describing her feeling of not living with her children and grandchildren. Diary entry or journal. Date Saturday, October 28, 2023. Ravi had told me that he would come here last Sunday with his children. I was excitedly waiting for them, but they did not come. I thought maybe their bus was late or they had some problem on the way. So I thought they will reach Palpa by next morning. I couldn't sleep well in that night due to excitement. I anxiously waited for next morning, but they did not arrive that morning also. I didn't even receive any call from Ravi. Oh, how stupid I am. How could I forget that my mobile is out of order? I dropped it accidentally and now it does not work. I cannot make a call from it to anyone, and since the time I dropped it, I have not received any call from outside. But after all, my son is coming and he will repair it for me. When he was small, he did whatever I asked him. He was such an obedient child. Of course, now that he has grown up, but still I know that my son will do whatever I ask him. I know he has not changed at all. I am his mother. I can tell that. I am also old now. I am 80 years old. I cannot believe it myself. I feel very weak. My whole body aches and I cannot sleep the whole night sometimes. I realize I have lost my hearing power also. When Ravi will come, I will tell him to do something about it. Even I broke my glasses. They are useless now. I have to ask Ravi to take me to eye doctor and make a new set of glasses. I know my son will take me to the doctor. I cannot see anything in the dark, so I have my dinner early in the evening and go to bed early. Who will cook for me? I have to cook for myself. I know until my son comes, I have to bear all this. What to do? I am so excited to see my grandchildren. I hope they have grown up now. It has been 3 years since I met them. They had come to take Tika from me during Dashami time. My son wants me to go to Kathmandu to live with him and his family, but I cannot adapt myself to the city life. The air is so polluted. Whenever I go there, I always have bad cough, and that cough never ends. I don't know why, but it was always so. My daughter-in-law took me to the doctor so many times, but even the doctors could not do anything. Their medicine was useless. My cough would never stop. Only when I came back to Palpa, my hometown, it stopped itself. I was surprised. So I feel very comfortable and at ease here. I don't want to go and live in that crowded city. I want my son to come here and stay with me. Last time when I told him about this, he had said, let's see what happens at that time. He was supposed to come a week ago. He had said he would come with the children, but there is no news of him. Now I'm starting to get a bit worried. Today I will pray to God for his well-being and for his whole family. Now I will try to sleep without worrying about him, and tomorrow early in the morning I will go to Saili's shop and call my son from her mobile. I will not worry about him anymore. No, not anymore today. My son likes duck's eggs. He used to like it so much. So tomorrow when I go to Saili's shop, I will bring some and keep them in store for him. He will be very happy to have them. The children like sesame seed laddu, that tilko laddu, which I make at home. I will definitely make a bottle full of them before they arrive here. I know the children are going to enjoy it, so I will prepare that. Yes, I will. Okay, this much for today. God, please take care of my son and my grandchildren and also my daughter-in-law. Let nothing happen to them on the way. God, please take care of them. Please. Om Shivaya Namah. After writing this daily diary or journal, the old lady lies down on her bed and soon falls asleep. Students, I have left out the project work this time to you all, as it is also about writing a news article, which I have already done in my previous chapters. So I think by now you all know how to write a newspaper article. Please do it yourself. So this is the end of the lesson, students. That's all for today, and see you all in my next class. Bye-bye and take care.